Most people believe intelligence is something you display. They think it's about having answers, sharing opinions, reacting quickly, and proving that you understand what's happening. But Machiavelli understood something far more uncomfortable. Intelligence that is visible is often intelligence that is already compromised. The moment people can fully read you, your advantage begins to disappear. In every social structure, families, workplaces, friendships, institutions, there are those who are preserved and those who are spent. The difference is rarely talent or effort, it is awareness. Some people move through life exposed, emotionally transparent, easy to predict. Others move quietly, measured, difficult to place. One group is managed, the other is deferred to. This video is not about becoming cold or cruel. It is about understanding why certain minds are instinctively protected by the world, while others are tested, pressured, and consumed. Machiavelli did not write to teach people how to harm others. He wrote to teach them how not to be destroyed by human nature. The first lesson is this: clarity invites interference. The average mind believes being clear builds trust. In reality, excessive clarity creates access. When people know exactly what you want, how you feel, and where you stand, they can adjust against you. They can delay you, guilt you, rush you, or redirect you. Strategic minds reveal only what is necessary for the moment. They do not lie, but they do not volunteer leverage. Watch how powerful people answer questions. They don't over-explain. They don't rush to justify. They allow silence to do part of the work. That silence creates space, and in that space, others begin to hesitate. Hesitation shifts power. The second lesson is emotional control under observation. Most people are not evaluated by their skills, but how they behave under pressure. When you become emotional too quickly, defensive, angry, eager, apologetic, you reveal your thresholds. Those thresholds become handles. Machiavelli understood that the ruler who cannot control himself will be ruled by anyone who can provoke him. This does not mean suppressing emotion until it explodes. It means delaying expression until it no longer controls your actions. The person who pauses instead of reacting immediately forces others to recalibrate. That pause communicates strength, whether intended or not. The third lesson is detachment from outcomes. The average mind attaches quickly to approval, to results, to being liked, to being chosen. Attachment creates fear, and fear creates compliance. When you are afraid to lose something, you negotiate against yourself before anyone else speaks. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means you are not controlled by the possibility of loss. When you can walk away mentally, even if you stay physically, your posture changes. Your decisions become clearer. Others sense that you are not desperate. That alone shifts how they treat you. The fourth lesson is adaptive presence. Many people misunderstand authenticity. They think being the same in every situation is honesty. Machiavelli understood that effectiveness requires adjustment. You already do this naturally, speaking differently to a superior than to a friend, differently in private than in public. Strategic intelligence simply makes this conscious. You do not change your values, you change your delivery. You speak to people in the language they understand. This is not manipulation, it is comprehension. The rigid mind demands to be understood. The intelligent mind understands first. The fifth lesson is controlled exposure. In a culture that rewards oversharing, restraint becomes power. When people know everything about you, curiosity dies. When curiosity dies, attention follows. Strategic minds reveal themselves in layers, over time, based on context and trust. Information once released cannot be reclaimed. The intelligent mind treats personal information like currency. It is spent deliberately, not impulsively. This applies not only to conversation, but to digital presence. Everything you post teaches people how to categorize you. The sixth lesson is outcome-based thinking. The average mind argues to be right.
The intelligent mind acts to get results. Arguments satisfy ego. Outcomes change reality. Machiavelli observed that history is written by those who act, not those who explain. Before speaking, the strategic mind asks a single question: what result does this produce? If words do not move the situation forward, they are withheld. This discipline prevents unnecessary conflict, wasted energy, and reputational damage. The seventh lesson is strategic endings. Most people stay in situations too long, jobs, relationships, habits, because ending them feels uncomfortable. Machiavelli understood that decay is more dangerous than change. Knowing when to exit preserves strength. Ending is not failure. Lingering past usefulness is. The intelligent mind recognizes diminishing returns and acts before exhaustion sets in. This ability alone separates those who recover quickly from those who remain trapped in cycles of regret. The eighth lesson is focus as protection. Distraction is the modern form of control. When your attention is fragmented, you are easily influenced. The strategic mind chooses one primary objective and filters decisions through it. Everything else becomes noise. This focus does not require intensity at all times. It requires consistency. Small, deliberate actions repeated over time create momentum that others mistake for luck. Machiavelli understood that fortune favors preparation, not hope. When these lessons combine, something subtle happens. People stop pushing as hard. They explain themselves more. They test less. They begin to treat you as someone whose boundaries are unclear but firm. This is not intimidation. It is recalibration. You are no longer easy to classify. And in human psychology, what cannot be easily classified is treated with caution. This is the intelligence shift that separates the untouchable from the expendable. Not louder, not harsher, but more contained, more deliberate, and far less predictable. If you practice even one of these lessons consistently, you will notice the change, not because people tell you, but because their behavior adjusts. Conversations shorten, respect increases, pressure decreases. That is not coincidence. That is human nature responding to disciplined awareness.